back to another episode of Rise of Tryhard Sunset Canyon Edition. I talked to my Alliance members yesterday, and they're like, we want to see more videos with Jintoka beating the crap out of you. I'm like, okay, I can make more videos like that. So actually, I came back into Sunset Canyon today, and overnight, this guy, this number one Sunset player in my kingdom, he's actually competing in a few minutes here for the number one in the Sunset Tournament. And I think he'll have a good chance to win. He'll either get first or second place. Anyway, overnight he attacked me, and I was like, you know what? Like, I did okay here. I got him down to 1 march, and I got him down to a City Keeper march. So that means I got past. I mean, his Thutmose did destroy a lot of my troops, but I did pretty good. So I was like, I started talking to him like, hey man, what kind of if you look at the battle, I actually had him down at one point to 4v2. On the right is my troops, on the left is his troops. I had 4 of my marches still alive, and at the point he had his archers and City Keeper alive. So, and of course he won this. I even got him down. I think it was 2v1 on a City Keeper, and his City Keeper Martel stayed alive, and that was the end of the match. But like, I did better than I thought I was going to do. I had been avoiding him for a couple of days. I thought for sure I'll lose. So I started asking him, like, in chat, like, hey man, what kind of equipment do you have? Like, why are you beating me so bad? Because my commander levels are higher than his. He does have VIP 14, and that gives him plus 5% troops. But like, I'm still losing by more than I expected. I asked him, hey, what about your equipment? So he pasted me in his equipment. Here are his cavalry, and it's pretty similar to mine. If you look at the percentages here, you can see. Here's mine, and there's his. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's +1, -1 here and there. It's like, it's about the same. And I might have, 1 point more of health than he does, whereas he has 1 point more of attack. So I'd say, like, the equipment on the Minamotos is pretty similar. If you look at his Joan, it's pretty similar. I even probably have 4% more health, whereas he has more attack. He has 5% more attack. I have 4% more health. I mean, in a pinch, I might even take my set over his here for the Joan. If you look at his Sun Tzu for the infantry, it's like, I mean, it's about the same as mine, right? Like, he has way more attack. He has 8% more attack, but I have 20% more health. Is that right? Maybe the things are out of order, but either way, I have way more health than him on my infantry because I'm using the epic pants. So I'm like, once again, I would take my set here over his. I'm like, what is going on? I look at the City Keeper. My City Keeper equipment is weak, but look at his. His is not any better. Mine's about the same. Maybe he has 4% more attack. I have, I don't know, maybe 10% more health. So I've been loading up on health. The reason is he didn't expertise his shield. So I'm like, I would once again, I would take my set over his. Then he pays in his archers. Look at this archer set. Like, goodness gracious. He has 3 refined epics. His only blue is refined. Like, this is a spectacular archer set. So and compared to mine, it's like, it's no comparison. It's like his archer equipment is so much better. This is far and away. This is way better than I would expect for someone pre-KVK. He said he's working on it really hard. So yeah, you can tell. His archer is super powerful equipment-wise. Like, what is that? Goodness, it's probably 10 or 12 points in stats higher than mine. That's crazy. So like, we can't go 1v1 in archers for sure. But I asked my friend Logic Bank, like, man, I tried beating him again and I can't do it, but it was a close one. And I told him I had him down 4v2 and 2v1, but his Thutmose is so strong. And Logic Bank is like, show me his defense. And he pulled it up. He's like, yeah, that's a pretty good defense. And we started talking about, well, what if you put your City Keeper lower left in the back, and the Joan in the front versus the Sun Tzu and Minamoto up top. And I was like, dude, I can't get to his Thutmose. He's all surrounded. You can't see it very well here, but his Thutmose is down in this lower corner, making it, he's protected on one side by wall, on the back side by wall, and then 3 marches all around him. So I was like, I can't get to him. I can't get to the Thutmose, and the Thutmose wrecks me. So he's like, all right, here's what you can do. You can try to get the end up Minamoto versus Thutmose. And 3 March, his City Keeper, he said, make sure his Ethelflaed misses your Joan, because he has no healing. He doesn't have a Richard. And he's like, well, maybe City Keeper bottom front, then Joan behind. You 3 March his City Keeper, and everybody is turned away while on Joan. What he means by this is all those 4 marches that are all AoE, attack from behind. You might remember a few days ago I posted a video called the reach around technique, which means like you get your commanders behind his commanders so his AoE can't reach you. So that's what we're going to try and do. I'm not like I'm not super confident this is going to work, and I haven't tested it. However, if you look at my Sunset Canyon, this season ends in 10 minutes, and I have, what do I have? I have 5 more challenges, and I'm in second place. So, like, what the heck? Why don't we burn some challenges and I'll attack some other people after him? But here was what Logic Bank recommended. So as you can see, his Thutmose is down here in the lower right. Lower right. So it's protected by the wall here. I can't group up on him here. Protected by the Sun Tzu buy bars here. I can't get to him here. So what Logic Bank is suggesting is 3 marches City Keeper. Try and take out the City Keeper as fast as possible. And then those 3 attackers up here, after they kill City Keeper, will come around behind these guys, and they'll avoid all this AoE mess. So that's what we're going to try and do. So he said put City Keeper down low, Joan behind him, because City Keeper is going to get wrecked. So City Keeper's job here is just to stay alive a little bit, as long as he can, and then Joan will tank, hopefully, while these 3 marches up here attack from behind. And while all this is AoE, not AoE, but high damage, AoE, and massive AoE damage. So what we want is for these 3 guys to be behind the Thutmose, and where we're going to end was what Logic Bank was suggesting. We want Minamoto versus Thutmose, and cavalry does counter archers. However, Minamoto is not as strong. My Minamoto equipment is definitely not as strong as his Thutmose equipment, but let's just see how it happens. So whenever you're marching across and there's nobody in front and there is someone up here, your attack march will go up. So I worried about that, I lose my Minamoto down to the Sun Tzu. That shouldn't happen. Minamoto should be going up, and he will, these 3 will attack City Keeper, and this is a Martel too. So that's going to stay alive for a while. But hopefully all 3 of these will stay alive. Maybe Sun Tzu is battered pretty good. They'll come around behind, and they won't get hit by the Ethelflaed that's attached to the spy bars. So let's watch that and just see what happens. City Keeper, we know City Keeper is going to die quickly, and that's okay. Hopefully he stays alive long enough for this City Keeper to die. He's not. My City Keeper is going to die before his City Keeper is dying. Well, it's pretty close. But my City Keeper will die before his City Keeper dies. But they're all going to turn. As soon as City Keeper dies, they're all going to turn. All 4 of these marches, their back is to my 3 marches. So as soon as, oh goodness, Joan's going to die too. That's not good. But for right now, at least, nobody is hitting my marches with AoE. Goodness, Joan just wasn't strong enough. The one kind of bummer about this is you'd never know where the marches are going to land. It would have been awesome if all 3 of these could have gone straight for the Thutmose, but they don't. They go to whoever's closer, and in this case, they were going to Sun Tzu, and maybe we'll take out Sun Tzu, but that'll be it. And woof. Okay, that technique Did not work. But that was worth a try. You can imagine though that it would have potentially been pretty if Joan could have stayed alive a little bit longer. You can imagine all three of those marches. Um, I'll show you at what moment. If Joan could have stayed alive 5 more seconds, we could have had all three of these marches up here beating on the backside of Sun Tzu, while Sun and the Baibars and the Thutmose all blast AoE at Joan. Uh, in this case, it didn't work because it took too long to kill City Keeper, for one. And then my City Keeper died too quickly, which got all 4 marches onto Joan too quickly, and Joan died too. It would have been awesome right now to be attacking Thutmose, but and we did for a moment, but then all 4 turned because Joan died, and then that reach around technique, didn't work. So that was worth trying. I'm gonna go and get back into second place for the week. But thanks for watching. I'll keep making these videos where I lose to this guy. And congrats to him if he's watching. Congrats on a great team. Please like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye-bye.